Everybody, it's Al from Boston. Let's kick it off. All right. Today I want to talk about Hedera or the HBAR, right? If you're looking for new cryptos to invest into and you're looking for the next big thing that is real world utility and massive institutional interest, buckle up. Here you go. Today we're going to dive into Hedera, right? And you should absolutely consider buying HBAR. That's the native token of Hedera network, right? This isn't your average shitty altcoin, all right? It's kind of a powerhouse that's surging right now. And I'll tell you exactly why it's time to get in before it explodes even further. First off, let's talk about the elephant in the room. The HBAR spot ETF went live yesterday, right? That's right. The SEC gave the green light and it caused HBAR's price to soar. I think it was up 25% in the initial 24 hours, hitting like 21 cents. That's pretty great. That we're talking about 1 day trading volumes of 8 million for the ETF. And it's kind of opening the floodgates for institutional money to pour in. Now, imagine the big wigs in Wall Street finally getting easy, regulated access to HBAR, right? This is a game changer, signaling kind of a new era for crypto adoption. And the community, their little community is buzzing, right? Posts all about HBAR, ETF season, and giveaways and hype and everything else, right? Let's talk about HBAR so you know exactly what you're buying and what you're getting. Why do you want to buy HBAR specifically? Hello. HBAR isn't built on any of the old outdated blockchain tech. It uses Hashgraph consensus, which means it's insanely faster, right? It's got 10,000 transactions per second for dirt cheap. And I just heard a rumor last night, in fact, I don't know if it's true, I haven't validated it, that Bitcoin got hacked by two Chinese people. You can Google that, see if that's true, put it in the comments. But let me keep going. You won't have a problem like that with HBAR, right? I'll tell you why. It's super efficient, making it arguably the greenest crypto out there, right? It's governed by a council of heavy hitters, IBM, Boeing, Google, LG. These are the heavy hitters, right? Real companies ensuring stability, integrate enterprise grade security, and people are eyeing it for big things. You know, the Bank of England's potential stablecoin push is using HBAR, right? That's their native token. Let's go to the utility for a sec. HBAR powers everything from DeFi and NFTs to actual real world applications in finance, supply chains, and tokenizations. Recently, um, there's been a bunch of new integrations, like the DIA Oracle is providing live HBAR prices, feeding apps to D apps. It's just a bunch of techno jargon for developers getting together and integrating everything together with this product. That's a huge sign. That's a big sign. And with the launch of the ETFs, right, analysts are predicting the HBAR could push towards its all-time highs, right? Some AI models, like the one on Twitter and the other one, are saying by the end of 2025, we're going to see significant clearance. That's pretty big. That's a huge deal, right? And we're seeing FOMO in full effect right now with market reactions. Huge sudden inflows of capital and technical breakouts are all happening, right? But think about this for a sec, right? While Bitcoin is digital gold and Ethereum is the smart contract king, HBAR is the efficient infrastructure play that's literally ready for mass adoption. It's not speculative either. It's built for enterprises and everyday use. It's like that utility that everyone can use, right? It's the Acme. If you're tired of the high fees and slow networks for when you're sending money, HBAR solves that. Very similar, but more than even XRP. Now, with the crypto market heating up, buying now could kind of posture you and position you for massive gains as more of the institutions jump on board, right? Um, the actual technology itself is what's called a DLT, a distributed ledger technology, and it uses what's called Hashgraph consensus. And it's designed for enterprise grade applications and empowers a HBAR cryptocurrency and governed by a decentralized council of global organizations. That's what makes this thing so enticing to me. As of the 29th, the price is 19 cents, right? Down slightly after yesterday's ETF surge. The founders are two Air Force Academy grads. So I have that. I give them the check. And I know that they're working with DoD. That's the other thing. The co-founders and the inventors of Hashgraph grew up in Texas, was a mathematician. His name was Lehman Baird. He's kind of a creepy looking guy, along with the other buddy, Mance Harmon. Mance Raider, Mance Harmon. He's the co-founder, right? They met in the Air Force Academy back in '85. Both graduated with computer science degrees that focus on cyber defense simulation, so on and so forth. And Harmon was elected to the chairman of the Hedera Council. Baird still holds a number of the tokens himself. Now, I don't know how many of you guys are going to remember this, but they started a company called Blue Wave, which was acquired. Baird's got a PhD in AI and cybersecurity. Just a 10-pound brain on both of these guys. But Baird invented Hashgraph in 2015 as an alternative to the blockchain, right? Um, it's interesting because they use this thing, it kind of gets thrown around. It's called Gossip Protocol for consensus. 10,000 transactions per second, low fees, energy efficient, blah, 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 proof of stake, blah, blah, blah. It goes around and he touches all these different nodes to validate you. Really interesting stuff. I personally don't know a damn thing about it. I don't want to get into the technicals, but it's faster, it's fairer in price, and it's more secure than traditional blockchains. That's the big thing about it. That's why I can do. It's kind of like this heavy hitter horse. It's a horsepower in terms of high volume use. They launched it in March of 2018. Um, they had 50 billion HBAR tokens, and they made this in 2022. Baird was pushing this to be open source, so people could use it and build it off the protocol, and it's just been incredible since then. And they rebranded it from the word Swerves Labs to Hashgraph because it was easier to pronounce and not a pain in the neck. The governing council, though, I can't stress this enough. I'm going to read off the list. Google, IBM, Boeing, ServiceNow, NVIDIA, Arcax, Lloyds Bank, Circle, Bitco, Arrow Electrics, University of College of London, Tata, LG Electronics, Shinhan Bank, and Standard Bank, Dovu, Blockchain for Energy. I mean, DLA Piper, Chainlink Labs, Potential Energy is they also have some kind of ties to ExxonMobil and Chevron, but I haven't exactly validated that just yet. Um, let's see what else I got on my list here. But it powers tokenizations like the kind that BlackRock and Fidelity use for stablecoins, USDCs. It does AI audits with NVIDIA, blockchain supply tracking, payments, of course, just all kinds of enterprise level stuff. And the big thing about this company, as opposed to everyone else, is the fairness, right? It's ideal for high volume, and it's very fair in terms of its price. I mean, you really can't beat the price, and it's super secure. And I already told you about the ETF that was launched by Canary Capital. They're going to make a shit ton of money on that. But the markets are volatile. It's kind of trading in the spread between 19 cents and 21 cents. There's going to be some regulatory hurdles, which I think is going to get taken care of along with XRP. They're saying 24 to 60 cents by the end of this year, potential 75 if momentum builds. And it's all driven by utility and staking. Optimists target a $1.80 with ETF momentum when the ETFs are all sorted out and they get the approval. And this council that they have the Reserve Bank of Australia on there and the Bank of England. That's pretty significant players in the global financial system. And they got NVIDIA as the AI integrator, and it's just incredible. And they have partners. They have real world partners. RWA tokenization has experienced a boom. So when that happened, they got with people like Tokeny, Arcax, tokenizing trillions of dollars in assets. People don't even know about what they're doing. That's what's so silly about the whole thing. And more importantly, I think what they're trying to do now in 2026 is unlocking newer markets. And they're pulling these things together, right? Institutional and DeFi growth, more ETS, more HBARs infrastructure, AI payments, global finance, and it's really entering the spotlight for mass adoption. If you ask me, this is absolutely a freaking buy. You'd have to be a bonehead not to buy this, especially at fucking 19 cents. What are you kidding me? 19 cents? That's a steal. That's an absolute steal. Uh, you know, it's one of these things where it's like you can pick up a chunk for very little money. For a couple $100, you can pick up a stack. Or you can just go out and spend real money like I did. I spent significant money on this, and I'm holding a lot of it. So my two picks for today, Hedera and XRP, and there'll be another one tomorrow. Stuff that I am buying that I'll actually show you that I have, and not just say, hey, go buy this or that. I'm not getting any money on it, or no one's paying me a Hedera or a Ripple, believe me. So that's all I have for you guys for today. I hope you guys have a good rest of the day. Off from Boston, signing out.